session of sanity right here on the real side. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5562. Yeah, I got something in my eye. I don't know what happened. You know, I think the dust that came off the microphone. I don't know. Anyway, Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. I really appreciate the time that you're spending with us on the air, in the chat room, texting and tweeting, being part of the conversation. You know, I really want you, as part of the conversation. You got to get involved. You got to get engaged. If you head up to the website, I'll wait. Go ahead. realside.com. But you head up to the website, and I want you to get involved with the you can sign up for the email blast. You can sign up for text alerts, and that's easy. Just text TRS to 77222. TRS to 77222. All right, or sign up for our news week news blast every week through email. If you don't like that, you can always stop. You stop anytime you want to. It ain't that hard. Anybody know what today is? Anybody? Come on. You have to. Somebody has to know. That's right. Oh, stop it. It ain't that bad. Joe Messina, your host. It is Friday the 13th. I don't get it. I don't get why people get wigged out by these things. I mean, I'm not a superstitious person. But I guess it's a big deal. A bigger deal than I would have thought it was. Right? But there's some really crazy... I mean, again, I'll get to the political side. Sonja Schmidt's going to join us after the break. But I thought I'd have some fun with this. Matter of fact, the beauty is the article that I found about Friday the 13th, there's a picture of Nancy Pelosi. What do you think that says? I don't know. I'm just guessing. And, the history... I bet you many of you don't know. You're probably, I don't know. What's the big deal? Right? This is the second... This should be a shock. This is the second Friday the 13th in 2020. Right? And no less than one day each year on the calendar, it's what's considered an unlucky date. 44% of Americans consider themselves to be a tad suspicious. Maybe you particularly. You avoid walking on the ladders. Anybody avoid walking on the ladders? Yeah? No, not me. I could care less. If it gets me there fast enough, I'm going. All right? If you see a black cat in your way, do you walk around? Because I could care less. The Friday the 13th have been around for generations, the fears anyway. Something that goes back to the days of Christ, right? And on the crucifixion. But I don't even know how that ties together. Some of them say that, it's all about the 12 months in a calendar year, or 12 gods of Olympus, and 12 is the number of completeness. So 13 is kind of like the odd number in. The Code of Hammurabi, one of the oldest legal codes written, it reportedly left out a 13th law. The absent was probably clerical, they say, but some think it was, hooky stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? In Christian beliefs, 13 guests are said to have attended the Last Supper. Judas, remember him? Remember Judas? He was a disciple who betrayed Jesus. He might have been the 13th one. Bad luck, bad number for him, anyway, right? And why Friday? Jesus was crucified on a Friday. So for those of you who are freaked out by Friday the 13th, know that it's about Jesus. That'll stop them, right? The Michael Bailey, a history professor at Iowa State University, he specializes in the origins of superstitions. He talks about the weddings in the Middle Ages, for instance, were not held on Fridays. It was not a day that someone would start a journey, he said. It's unclear how and why Friday and the number 13 all became linked together. Some of you know that when you get to a building, I think they still do that today, but I'm not sure. There is no 13th floor. Did you know that? I mean, seriously. So, it just bleeds out into the thing. It's funny how we know about science, and we know about history, and still this stuff wigs us out. And the fears of the date, they've not been forgotten forever, even, again, today in the modern era. Now, social media overflowed with posts today about the first Friday the 13th since March. Extra caution needed because it's the year 2020. Where does this stuff come from? Right? This is the last. Somebody said this is the last. You guys are a kick. This is the last Friday the 13th of March 2020. So what else could go wrong? Hey, shh. Don't tempt anybody. Seriously. But no, there's some crazy stuff. And I don't know where this stuff comes from. I went looking, and everybody's got a kind of idea where it comes from. But I mean, think about the little superstitious things that people won't do. Was it you drop salt, you have to throw it over your shoulder or something like that? I never get into that stuff, so it never really meant anything to me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Do I have time to do this one? No, I don't. But that's okay. I don't mind. Hey, did you hear that Nancy Pelosi's going to she's going to throw a party for Democrats? Think about it. I mean, she's going to have, and people are wigged out by it, or I shouldn't say wigged out. I should say they're teed off by it. Now, she's having how do you have a victory celebration when you actually lost like 8 seats? That's why I said they use a different dictionary than we do. We were on a total different planet than them. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Sonja Schmidt joins me after the break.
Are you paying too much for your health insurance? Are your deductibles too high? Or are you completely uninsured? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Healthcare Help Desk can help you now when people need help the most. Health insurance laws and rules have changed. If you have Obamacare, are uninsured, or your premiums are too high, call Healthcare Help Desk. It's free. New healthcare plans are available, and you may qualify for dental coverage and lower copays and deductibles. Make the free call now. Top quality coverage at the lowest prices anywhere. You may be paying too much and not even know it. In these troubled times, healthcare is more important than ever. Don't let another day go by without health insurance. Policies are being offered with very low copays and deductibles. So if you're uninsured, underinsured, or paying too much, call Healthcare Help Desk. Learn about your options before it's too late.
Call 800-964-1055. 800-964-1055.
Attention Medicare recipients and anyone turning 65. Medicare has approved new benefits not included with original Medicare and older Medicare Advantage plans. You may not be getting all of the benefits you're entitled to. These new Medicare Advantage plans may have many free new benefits including in-home aids, telephone appointments with your doctors, home-delivered meals and prescriptions. These benefits may be available and it's a free call to enroll. The easiest way to enroll is to call the Medicare Benefits Line, a free non-government service. The new plans may also offer free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free wellness visits, and gym memberships. Call the Medicare Benefits Line now. It's easy. Find out if you're eligible for new benefits like meal and prescription delivery, in-home aids, and telemedicine. Some plans may have a $0 monthly premium or zero copays for big out-of-pocket savings.
Call 800-691-1655. 800-691-1655.
Medicare Benefits Line is not connected with or endorsed by any government agency or the federal Medicare program.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions Now.
Call 800-447-7570. 800-447-7570.
President Trump announced that the vaccine will be here shortly, and he's going to distribute it to as many states as possible, with the exception of New York, because now everybody jumped right in and said, hey, that's because he doesn't like Cuomo. No. Actually, it's because Cuomo hates the people he governs, and he hates President Trump. So what he has said is he will not allow it to be until it's independently tested. First of all, these guys are idiots because it's going to be independently tested. Scientists are going to look at it on their own. It isn't being pushed out by the White House. It's being pushed out by the proper people. But, hey, if Cuomo wants to let his people die, let him go for it. He's already killed tens of thousands of them to begin with. So let him do what he wants to do. You know, he's a Democrat. Not a problem. Joe Messina, your host, and guess who's on? Sonja Schmidt joins me, as she does every week. Always have a ball with her. On the show. We get a little bit of a reality check when Sonja's on. Got her all pumped up last week, didn't we?
I'm not going to apologize for that because
no, don't you dare. Yeah.
It was spontaneous and it got me a ton of views, but I'm just telling you, I can't keep out that amount of anger. I mean, I know people love that, especially with black conservatives.
That wasn't anger. That was righteous indignation.
Absolutely.
You were upset. Look, they're sitting here telling us that first of all, let's have some fun with this. Lori Leber, better, whatever her name is, from Chicago, okay? She's out partying with the Biden beanheads, okay? In the streets, she's drinking and shouting and yelling and having herself a field day. And then what does she do the next day? She cancels Thanksgiving because she wants to keep people safe. She doesn't want you that close because, you can get sick with that many people around. But yet, it was okay for her with no mask, right? No anything. Okay. Yeah, well, what it is it doesn't bother the Democrats. That's the problem. The virus cannot stand the Democrats. Go ahead.
See, I was mean last week, and now I'm getting ready to be catty. If there's anyone in need of a mask, for the obvious reasons, it's her. She is like, people post pictures of her and Beetlejuice, the character from the movie, together, and there is no distinction. But the hypocrisy is what makes them ugly. You know what? Ugly is what emanates from within.
Right.
And for her to go out and party, and that's another image I don't want to see. I don't even want to think about her.
Have you seen her partner?
Yes.
It's like, remember Mutt and Jeff, right? In the old days? Oh, this is Mutt and Beetlejuice or something. I don't know.
What did you think she was going to find? It's just, do what you're going to do. But don't tell the rest of us what we have to do.
Yeah.
And for her to go out and party, which, again, is a gruesome thought, probably maskless, which doubles down on that gruesome thought. And then for her to come back the next day and tell us what we may or may not do, I don't know. Obviously, we are sick of the hypocrisy of the left. And the fact that they don't see it shows you just how sick they are.
I think they know exactly what they're doing. I think they want the conservatives locked in their homes. No, I really do. I got to the point now when
I get that. I think they want us locked in their homes, but they don't see how hypocritical and how stupid that looks for them to go out and party, for the other mayor to go out and she and her husband can go out on the yacht, and then how Newsom can go do his thing, how Nancy Pelosi can go get her hair done. And they don't
listen. She's having a victory Democrat party.
See.
I knew that would make you nuts. But listen, you're a lot smarter than I am. And I was driving down a local boulevard today. And thank God my son was driving because I probably would have lost my mind any other way. So I'm driving down and I see this waitress, what are they called? Servers or something now?
Yes, you can't distinguish sexuality anymore.
Really?
It's no gender.
So server is gender neutral, I take it. Okay, good. Very good. I want to be politically correct, you know me. So
absolutely.
I'm watching him walk out with this big tray. And he's walking out to the parking lot. And then he goes into this big tent. Okay, he's bringing people food. So I'm thinking, so you can't meet inside the restaurant, right? Because you got to have 25% occupancy and they can't clean this thing. But you can go outside where they have walls around a tent. Are you hearing me, people? A tent, a plastic tent that has no problem. But you're walking with that food in the open through the air because nothing could happen to that, right? I'm not well educated. I barely made it out of high school, but this don't sound right to me. What about you?
Well, that's why when they double down, and God forbid, and I don't believe it'll happen, if there is a I almost said Joe Messina. Oh, I'm so sorry. Joe Biden presidency.
What would be wrong with a Joe Messina presidency?
That would be wonderful.
It'd be free spaghetti and meatballs for everybody. Anyway.
Free. But if there's a Joe Biden presidency and they double down on this mask thing and these tents and all these random stupid rules, nobody's fallen for this anymore.
No, what was it? Recent poll said 47% of Americans would not adhere to a mandatory national mask rule.
That's a lot of Americans.
That's a lot.
What are they going to do? Jail 47% of Americans? What are they going to do? I just hope that the shop owners, they help us out, because if we're willing to take the brunt of this, if we're willing to go out on a leash and go, no, we're not going, they have to be fearless. And that would be a bit harder, because I don't know what I would do if I was a small business owner, or, it's like, I don't know. And I've always been sympathetic to them since this whole thing started. But at some point they're going to have to roll up their sleeves, bite the bullet, and go, you know what? With the backup of the American people, we're not going down this road.
No, I think a lot of people would go to the restaurants. I think a lot of people would back up those people, and I think they're going to be surprised if they think for a second that they're really going to really nail us like this. I think they're in for a rude awakening. But you and I have talked about this thing a million times, like how ignorant people are. Yeah, and you got this feminist Naomi Wolf. I don't know if you've heard about her. She's well known, and she's come out. And here's what she said: if I had known that Joe Biden was going to lock down the country again, I would not have voted for him. Now, did you read an article about her just coming out of a coma?
No, I don't know.
Because
I don't. Exactly. But here's the thing, and I always say, on a good day, on a sympathetic day, I can be sympathetic towards the left because I know that that's all. They're not hearing the real news.
Okay, that's fair.
On a realistic day, I'm going, how can you not hear the other side? You have to be willingly ignorant. This is willing ignorance, that you cannot click and find out some other information.
Yeah, you'd have to go looking for it. You'd have to study. We don't want to do that. Anyhow, we'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go far. I'm saving the one that'll send your blood pressure to the roof for a little bit.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Your host will be.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Here's why. Dish has the nation's lowest TV price, along with an award-winning DVR that can skip commercials, record 8 shows at once, and get access to thousands of movies at your fingertips. Cable simply can't even compare. So the smart choice is to cut the cable and get Dish. Plus, you get all these great TV features, free HD DVR upgrade, free installation, and free movie channels. Say goodbye to cable and get more with Dish TV. 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. As an added bonus, you can switch to Dish now and receive a $50 Visa gift card. So call now and get Dish TV. Call 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. That's 877-290-7764. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, and other restrictions apply. Promotion can change at any time.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America, and get this. Did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The Secret War is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
I want to set it from like 0 to crazy in a matter of seconds here. Sonja Schmidt joins me. She is the host of the Sonja Schmidt Show. And where can we find that show, Sonja?
Well, you just go right over to therangebroadcasting.com, click on my page on demand, and you can watch all of my archives, my current show, and you're just going to have a ball there because I have wonderful guests who I interview. And boy, I'm just shocked at some of the people who I have on, and they tell me stuff that scare me to death and that will get you in gear to fight for America.
Better get in gear. You people better get it in gear.
Bet
all right.
get in gear.
So one of our favorite people, Mr. Oblamo, Ex-President Obama, he's written another set of memoirs, And I said, because he couldn't cover it all, the first 800 pages that he wrote, right? So now he had to write a second one. And you would think, just do a little follow-up, right? A couple hundred pages. No. 740 pages in the second. He's rewriting the Encyclopedia Britannica. I guess he's the heading everywhere. But here's the beauty. He says point blank in the book that the only reason that Donald Trump got elected was because this country is still deeply racist. From a man who was voted in, a black man who was voted in twice. And we're still deeply racist. I don't even, I couldn't smoke enough dope to have that make sense.
First of all, there's so many. Okay, so we said 700 and some odd pages for the 12 people who showed up at his rally. So if you divide that up, that's a lot of reading for a lie. It's just like Kamala, whatever her name.
I still think you should use the stage name of Carmel.
Carmela. She also blamed her own party for being racist when they kicked her out during the whole first, execution of their people. Nobody liked her. And then what did she do? She blamed her party, and I don't think she saw it as that, but she said that they were racist and misogynistic. They didn't like women. So, but now that she's been elected, all that, including Joe Biden being a racist, is completely out of the window. This whole racism thing is playing out for them, which is why I believe they got 20% of the black male vote. And the black female vote, I haven't heard a number on that, but I'm pretty sure that that's going to be rising as well.
Yep.
But I think that I don't know what the term is. They've peaked their whole card. People are seeing what they're doing, and it's not holding water. For Obama to claim racism is absolutely ridiculous. This country and people around the world embraced him his first season. I'm in television. Term. His first term. They embraced him around the country, but because he was such an empty suit who didn't do anything beneficial for anybody in internationally or in our country, that's when he went out again the second term. Those rallies weren't quite as energetic. Yes, he won again, which shocked me. But he won again, but not with the enthusiasm that he had gotten before. And when you look at the Trump rallies, it's clear that there was shenanigans going on.
Oh,
you can't. It's just like, here's the problem that I had when and one of the reasons that I deflected from from liberalism is that you have to say, I don't believe my lying eyes. You have to like throw away your common sense to be a part of this party. So when you look at the Trump rallies, you look at the enthusiasm, you look at his policies, you look at the list of what this man has done internationally, globally, as well as nationally in our country. How do you compare that against the nothingness, the vast empty darkness of nothing that Joe Biden and Obama has done? Biden cannot be winning. It just can't happen. So when these liberals go on and they go, there's nothing to see here, there's nothing that's happened nefarious with the elections, it's more part of the same. It's like, don't believe what you see with your eyes, believe what we're telling you. And more people are awakening and going, this don't look right.
You know what? I hope so. I hope you're right, because I'm looking at this, and now you've got what her name, Patrisse Cullors. She's the co-founder of the Black Lives Matter movement. Sent a letter, actually sent a demand letter to Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. And in the letter are the expectations they have of what he's going to do for the black community, or demand what he's going to do for the black community, because without their vote, they believe he could not have won the election. Who are these people?
Trust me, just like Obama, who was a community organizer, they have nothing good in store for the black community. So, Black Lives Matter. Do you know? I mean, I don't know. Thank goodness right now in my life, I don't have people that belong to the left. Outside of my family, I don't have people that are adhered to the left or the Democrat Party.
I don't know anybody belongs to that.
But do you hear people who are chiming in and going, yeah, this sounds good, what BLM is saying and what Joe Biden and Kamala are doing for the black community or the people they're supposed to care about? Do you hear any positive thing, any point that they're saying is why they voted for Biden or why it's important for a Biden presidency? Or is it simply because they hate Trump because he's orange?
Well, I'm going to go back to what I've been saying for weeks now, and I think they hate Donald Trump. I think they hate that. First off, the rank and file people are only listening to the news. That's why they hate him. They do not know what he's actually done or been able to do. But I think the upper echelon hate him because he's shown people truly what they're about.
Absolutely. No, I see why they hate him. I get that. He's threatened all of their jobs. He's draining that swamp. And they thought that swamp was very secure. But but they can't be the only voters. So all these, all these people who voted or filled out multiple ballots to vote for him, they were motivated by hate. What about their lives changed so drastically that they would do something illegal to vote against this man? All they can say is that he's a liar, which they're hard pressed to say what he lied about. He's a racist, and like your lovely viewer last week was hard pressed to come up with something valid that he was genuinely a racist about. They don't have anything to stand on. So what builds that hatred so much?
Well, look, whenever you think somebody is against you, whenever you think somebody, I remember growing up as a kid in Boston. I grew up in the Italian section. There was an Irish section, and we had what seemed to be a natural hatred for the Irish kids and vice versa. Because over the years, we've been told how much they took from us, and they took our jobs from us when they came up here, and they were just scum, and they were being told the same thing. So there was no factual hatred between the two of us. But what it did do was, even back then, it gave the politicians a leg up in both places.
Interesting.
So, and I see it in our neighborhood. We talk about racism here. It's really funny, depending on the different areas that you're in, you find that the racism is either black on white, or it's black on Hispanic, or it's Hispanic on white. And it's really interesting. It's what they're being told is the truth about the other group.
It's so interesting. But what turned me around, I remember seeing those signs on windows that said, no, Irish need not apply when it came to job. And that was like, oh my gosh, so we weren't the only people. So it leveled out that playing field for me to go, we don't have to act like the only victims here, because they would say, oh, well, you're black, so they could see the difference. But you know what? Irish people had different last names, or, they had different accents, or in those days they looked different as well.
Yep.
So I don't know why we don't have any sympathy or empathy towards other people other than the left has wiped that out of our...
Because it's us and our family. Look at what's a common term, derogatory term for Mexican guys is wetbacks, right? You know what they call them, right? I mean, when I grew up in my day, a common derogatory term for Italians was greaseballs, guineas.
Yeah.
Right? Dagos.
Right. And you know what? And I didn't hear a lot of those terms until I was late in life. I did not hear those. So maybe that's why I'm a conservative. Maybe I'm a little bit naive about those certain things.
You are.
Mom, thank God you're going to be okay.
So relieved. But you both should know when my time comes, I have a final expense policy with Senior Care USA.
Is Senior Care USA the life insurance policy that helps loved ones pay for funeral expenses and other debts? Bill and I called to get more information.
Yes, and there's an immediate payout of up to $50,000.
If you're over 50, call Senior Care USA now to learn more about final expense insurance plans.
There's no medical exam, even if you have a pre-existing condition like I do. When I called, the quote was free, and there was no pressure.
I found out that policies start for as little as 35 cents a day. Rates will never increase and coverage won't decrease.
I'm going to call today.
Ask about the free prescription discount card. Oh, I'm so glad you'll be taken care of.
Call 1-800-822-7419. That's 1-800-822-7419.
But is it It's really just the beginning, right? Have you written a book and want it published but don't know where to start? You're not alone. Page Publishing cuts through the confusion that most new authors face, like copyright protection, barcodes, printing, and digital uploading. We will get your book into bookstores now. We guide you through the publishing maze and help you distribute and sell your work in hard copy and ebook formats. That's right. We will digitize and place your book for sale on Amazon, Apple iBooks, and Google, offering it to millions. Don't waste another minute. Most publishers won't even look at new author submissions, but we're different. We review your book and provide you feedback in about a week. If we decide to publish your book, your work ends and ours begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art, our team gets you into bookstores fast.
Call 1-877-461-5033.
Does your current bathroom need to be updated immediately? Introducing One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling, the complete and hassle-free way to get the new bathroom of your dreams in as little as 1 day, and for as little as $1.99 a month. Yes, the experts at One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling will come to you anywhere in the country and show you all the customized options. Now you can have a brand new bathroom in as little as 1 day. Large or small bathrooms, if you want a new bathtub or shower installed, we can do it in as little as 1 day. And if you call right now, you can save $750 off your remodel. We make it easy by offering you financing as low as $199 per month. So for as little as $199 a month, you can finally have the bathroom of your dreams. Call now to schedule your free in-home consultation.
Here on Sonja Schmidt joins me. She does every week. Always have a good time with her. Helps us kick off the party. Well, our kind of party anyway. I don't know. Yeah, I know, right? Really, seriously. So
is it 7 yet? Because it's my bedtime. Thank you so much for having me on the first hour. Because at 7 o'clock is my bedtime, and I spent all day with my grandson going up and down ladders in a battleship in San Pedro, California, because for Veterans Day weekend or week, I wanted to share with him, the military and the glory
God bless you for doing it. That's great.
Yeah, but my old butt had to go up and down 5 stories, up and down a battleship, and it was delightful. They
don't have elevators for old folks now? No? In the battleships? Come on. You couldn't get a couple of those handsome sailors to carry you up and down.
There weren't enough. I wish I could have, but boy, that would have been
a little job. Wink, right? A little wink and a nod? No?
A wink and a nod. If I nodded, I would be, which is what I'm going to do in 15 minutes as soon as I'm out. But no, it was wonderful. And then he got to share with his classroom this week that his great-grandfather was one of the Tuskegee Airmen who helped with the Morse code so the pilots could take off and on the flight carrier. So he learned so much, and he was so proud.
How old is he?
He's 8.
Wow. Good for you.
And when his aunt gave him the information about his great-grandfather, and she included the part about black men were relegated to Tuskegee, but I chose not to add that in because he is 8, and I thought that's too much for him. It's too much BLM for him and the classroom, so I omitted that. So he showed the poster from the movie. He said, there was a movie made from them, and he showed the medal that President Bush had given them. So this was a real proud moment. And then here's the funny part. So then another kid came on, and it wasn't the kid. The mom did the presentation, and she started talking about generations of their family who came from West Point. Very impressive story. Incredibly impressive story. And I was like, oh, man. And then my grandson raised his hand, and the teacher called on him. And he said, were any of them in the Tuskegee Airmen? The mom was like, I you know what? I would just have to look into that. But I was so proud that we didn't have to go the black route. He didn't know anything about the fact that these were all black men and they were relegated to he just was so proud.
Good for him. Good for you.
I know, it was wonderful. It was a wonderful moment because I just had a conversation with
you just proved my point that I've been screaming about on the air here and going, look, you grandparents, you aunts, you uncles, they're not doing it at school, so grab your niece, grab your nephew, grab the neighbor's kids. I don't really care. Take them out to these things, and so they get the truth. They get the real truth as to who fought for their freedom.
There's I forget what the statistics said, but if you take your children to a 4th of July parade or you get them involved in that, they will grow up to be more conservative. They will understand. Yes. Yeah. So when you see people taking away, when you see the left taking away the 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all of that, it's by design, people. Don't think that this is just because they want to protect you from a nasty virus.
Well, a few years ago, I don't know if you remember this, it was a big to-do where the Democrat Party said that the 4th of July, the celebration of 4th of July, was all about white privilege, and it was really for Republicans only. I was like, wait a minute.
I've been taking my grandson.
Did I drink too much this morning?
I've been taking that very same grandson to 4th of July parade since he could walk.
Well, I hope you leave just before they do the Pledge of Allegiance, because I wouldn't want him to have to listen to that oppressive garbage coming from those old white privileged guys. I mean, I'm just saying.
And luckily his mom and his mom's friends are seeing the light, and some of it is coming from me, even though they didn't understand what I was saying years ago when Obama became president. They laughed at me and they told me I was imagining things, and the ostracization that I got in Hollywood, and they told me I was imagining things, and now they're getting it. Now, you know what? And I also think it's because they have a paycheck and they're mommies and they're paying taxes and all that they're starting to see what makes sense.
Wow. I mean, this is great. I mean, even if one bite at a time, this is great. Okay, another one. Try to get your blood boiling here, right? So.
No, don't do
you
that.
Ready for this one?
I felt bad last week.
So a journalist calls for Trump staffers to be arrested for crimes against humanity. But let's not call for any of the staffers that helped push the bill to kill millions of babies over the last, since the 70s.
That's virtuous.
What do I know? I forgot. What do you want from me?
Trump is evil, so therefore anyone who's helped him out. But can they do this? I don't know. Does it go as far as me? I hope not, because I will turn you in.
Well, thank you. I appreciate. Well, look at this is what they're looking to do. AOC's talking about putting a list together. She got 71 million people she needs to put on that list the way she wants to do it. So she better start writing now.
A lot of people, but they have a lot of energy. I mean, I was booted out. I haven't worked in Hollywood since I came out as a conservative. I was always a Christian, but I haven't worked. I mean, it totally not ruined, but I had no income, and trust me, conservative stuff ain't paying the bills. So
that's because we're conservatives. We don't like to pay a bunch of money.
We don't. What is that about? We're supposed to be about free enterprise and capitalism and stuff. And I'm like, could I just get something a little bit more than lunch money from coming to speak at your?
Oh God! Oh yeah! Tell me about it. You Christian, conservative groups that ask us to come out and speak. The liberal gets $5,000 to do the same thing we're doing for a couple of $100, right?
To do what we're doing, we get lunch. Get lunch.
Some places you're exactly. I've got gas money before too. That's awful nice of them.
Did you really? Could you give me the name of those groups? Because
I didn't show up on my camel or donkey. I actually took a car there. So
we take a huge hit. We take a huge loss.
Well, we believe in what we're doing.
But
I realize that, but ultimately they would say no. Let's just be honest about it, right? Somebody left would say, yeah, I'm sorry. If you can't pay me, I believe in what you're doing, but I'm not coming out. There's plenty of times where I've said, oh, God, I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in what they're doing. I'll go, but you got to give me some gas money or something. But I see what you're saying.
Sorry. After Obama won the second term,
yes.
And I went to one of those engagements where I got a lunch, and I was able to sell as many books as I could tote and get people to sell. And as I was doing my speaking engagement, I was looking at a bunch of 103-year-olds who were nodding over their tapioca. And I was like, this is the army that I have to fight with?
Well, you can't. There's no way to get them all excited because they'll use all that energy and then fall asleep before lunch is over. We don't want to do that.
You feed them first before you do their speech, and it's over. So I don't know what it's going to take, but you know what? I am incredibly encouraged by the people who came out in these rallies. And I think I told you last week that I went out to a car rally, and there were there was easily 1,000 cars there. And, I just think that the motivation now for Trump is mega, And I love the fact that this man is standing up and going, I'm not going to let you cheat me out of this election, because we know all the stuff that they're talking about with Dominion and all of the stuff that they're talking about now that is fraudulent. We've known this for years, just like fake news. This isn't new. Trump didn't bring fake news to the table. We've been talking about fake news long before Trump came.
We just turned a light on it. I mean, he turned the light on it, and people finally started seeing it.
Exactly.
Yep.
So now I think it's right. It's accumulative, and now that he's going, no, I'm not going to back down on this election, because we've known all these problems before. We know about Dominion. We know about the mail-in. We saw this coming. But now we have a fighter. So whether he wins or whether he loses, this has to end, because our election process is going to be, we can't trust it again. And liberals or the left will be in power forever if we let this go.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have no hope. And I don't want to be the guy who, the pessimistic guy, but that's kind of who I am by nature. But it's true.
You mean person. We don't use guy or girl on the show. Yeah, that's right, Dave.
Guy, girl. Can I get, right? It's gone. If they get away with this,
it's gone. I agree.
It's gone.
But I want you to know, some of the top officials in our government, a coalition of federal and state officials. You ready for this one? You don't have any liquid in your mouth, right? Top officials say that the November 3rd election was the most secure in U.S. history.
Really?
Well, you know what that means, though? Wait. You know what that means? That means they stole even more votes in the past. So we've only got them down to stealing like maybe 2.7 million. Maybe in the past it was like 3.5 or 4 million. You never know. Based on
it's
what
like
they said.
saying, look, you didn't catch me in all the times I cheated on you, honey.
Where do you find Sonja Schmidt?
Attention homeowners. Do you have a house that's in need of serious repairs? Do you have tenants that never seem to make their monthly payments? How about code violations, past due taxes, or maintenance costs you just can't afford? Then call my friends right now at Quick Cash Offer. They specialize in buying any home, no matter how ugly the situation. Turn that problem property into cash right now. It's just that simple. One call and you can get rid of that home headache forever. They buy the ugliest houses with instant closings, instant cash, and huge savings. Plus, there are no realtor fees, no listing fees, and no repair costs. Just cash in your hands for that painful property. They're buying a few more houses in your neighborhood this month. So take advantage of this cash offer and call Quick Cash Offer now.
855-296-8854. 855-296-8854. That's 855-296-8854.
Listen carefully. If your student loan debt is overwhelming you and things seem hopeless, we've got great news.
If you're still struggling with your student loan debt, there are government programs available that may actually lower your payments by consolidating your federal student loans. Just call us. We'll review your situation and work with you to consolidate your debt. In many cases, depending on your situation, we can lower your monthly payments in half or more. It doesn't matter how much you owe or how far behind you are. Even if you're in default, call us right now to find out how we can lower your payment in half immediately. You can stop the harassing phone calls and the wage garnishments. All you need to do is pick up the phone and call us right now. We can remove your default status, consolidate your federal student loans, lower your payments, and we can do it today. Stop worrying. This is a real solution that can help. So please call us right now.
Call 800-917-8671.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you and all seniors from the Final Expense Insurance Hotline. The average funeral costs about $7,000, even more. And the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255. That leaves your loved ones with a burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay up to $30,000 for your funeral and other final expenses. There's no medical exam and you'll have lifetime coverage. Plus, your rates will never increase and your plan cannot be canceled regardless of your medical condition, as long as you make your premium payments. Get free information right now. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 855-221-7334.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next?
How do you get in front of companies or get a patent?
Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors just like you for 35 years.
And thousands of people contact them every month.
With 65 offices, you can meet with an InventHelp representative near you who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. And they offer 3D animations and prototyping services to help demonstrate your idea. InventHelp's exclusive databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to confidentially review new ideas, like yours.
Don't wonder what to do next. Take action right now and get the help you need from InventHelp.
InventHelp. Call today for free information.
800-880-2937. That's 800-880-2937 now.
They're just sitting around doing nothing, having tea with each other. General, thanks for joining me. I appreciate your time.
Joe, it's always a pleasure.
Well, I appreciate that. That makes two of you. You and my wife, and her I'm not so sure about. So, but we're hearing about how China is behind all this chaos, and Iran is behind this chaos, and Russia might be joining in on it. Give me your insight. I mean, is just hysteria, or could this be real?
Well, picture yourself sitting in Beijing right now, or in Moscow, or Tehran, and looking what's going on in America, and the divisions in America, and the turmoil that's been created in the last, since COVID came on board with the riots and demonstrations. And if you look through their eyes, they're seeing America really decaying, which would give them an opportunity, for example, China, to be the global power in the world of economics, finances, and so on, and militarily. And so from that standpoint, same thing with Tehran. That's why they're backing and they're backing basically Joe Biden, because he knows, or they know, that he's easy, he's weak, he's not a strong leader like President Trump, and they'll be able to manipulate him.
Yep. And
so when I look through their eyes, that's what I see.
And he's got the keys to the safe, and they need that money, don't they?
They love the money. Well, he doesn't have it yet, and hopefully he won't have it. I think things are a little more encouraging today about Trump and some of the 5 states here, especially Pennsylvania. So it's not over yet, Joe.
Oh no, I'm with you.
Biden's not president-elect. He may think so, but he's not.
No, I'm with you. I agree it's not over yet. We've never had a president willing to fight like this. You heard George W. came right out and basically said, yeah, he needs to concede. Well, why? They weren't even done counting it. They were giving states to Biden after 22% of the vote was in. It made absolutely no sense to me,
Well, what we saw that night, I mean, I watched it at 2 o'clock in the morning. President Trump is well ahead in mostly all of those states.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden the votes stopped being counted. Then they opened up the next morning about 8 o'clock. And now they've tracked that the Dominion
software
probably kicked in, and maybe the hammer and the scorecard, the other cyber technology to change the votes and turn them from Trump to Biden. So in the early morning hours when they started counting them the next day, the vote started going plus for Biden.
Oh yeah, you could. I was in the technology/computer world for over 20 years before I got into this. And when they started talking about everything they were doing with elections, with computers, I said, "This is not good, people. This is not going to bring it to us faster. It's going to bring it to us more corrupt, because that's how bad it is."
Right.
And you've seen that happen.
Well, the other thing, right? What we found out that, and the way it's supposed to work, and it worked, I think, this way. That once these votes were tabulated early in the morning of the next day, that in fact they're supposed to go, as I understand it, to the Secretary of State of the states. Okay.
Right.
And from there they release it from the state level, and then it goes on the internet. Okay?
Right.
So once it's on the internet, then the votes can be manipulated as they want them to, either by the Dominion software or by the hammer, or what we call the scorecard. And so there seemed to be a lot of manipulation of changing the votes between 2 o'clock in the morning of election night into the next day. So that's. But here's the thing, Joe. You have to have proof. You have to be able to have specific evidence. Secondly, you need the people that were involved in the fraud. And that's what the Trump legal teams have to do. Now, they have over 120 affidavits, I think, from Michigan. So they have a lot of people that are doing these affidavits.
Yeah. I'm
So
surprised
now
at how many
they've
people
got
coming
to put
forward.
Yeah, that's just in one state. And we know over 30 districts in Michigan for the software program that could go in and manipulate the data and change the votes. So the next day, it showed all these votes going to Biden. So, but again, proof and people. Now, if you get 2 or 3 people, excuse me, in these key states to turn evidence, guess what? They're going to flip a lot of people, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Yep. And to your point, looking at the data, look at the software, how many people were actually flipped by the program itself? And that's a big deal. People, again, I never trust them because it's too easy to manipulate a computer to make it do what you want it to do. And I don't think people really understand that.
Yeah, no, that you do. That's easy today if you got these techies in there. It's just like at Facebook or Twitter, how they instantaneously can get information, and then they have the ability to manipulate that information and change it, and then go public with it. That's how quick technology is today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they've been working on this for a long time. We did a story when I first started the show, a little over 10 years ago, and it was a story about a young man that thought he was helping the Democrat Party in Florida find holes in their software, when in reality, they had asked him, here's our software, we want you to recode it so that somebody could easily change votes. We want to know how easy it is to do. And then he didn't realize till he had done 2 versions of it exactly what they were doing. And we have his testimony and the whole 9 yards. And so they've been doing this for decades, trying to get away, trying to make this happen. The computers made it so much easier for them. And to your point, there is an article out there right now about the computer experts who've already looked at the code on a couple of those software packages, and they can see exactly where they flipped the votes from Trump to Biden. So.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Broken AC, $4,600. Water heater, $1,500. Fridge on the fritz, $1,000.
You need home warranty coverage from the Home Service Club.
For around $1 a day. If any of your covered appliances and systems break down, HSC will either repair or replace them.
HSC provides coverage of up to 47 different appliances and systems in your home.
I trust HSC.
HSC has over 15,000 pre-screened, highly rated technicians with the fastest response time in the industry.
They cover everything from ACs, stoves, fridges, pool pumps, and more.
Call the number on your screen now for a free no-obligation quote from a trusted HSC specialist about a home warranty for your entire home, backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call now and get 1 month free plus $75 off your first year of coverage. 1 month free and $75 off your first year. The Home Service Club.
I didn't know some Medicare Advantage plans may pay for dental visits. Did you?
I didn't know some Medicare Advantage plans may pay for transportation to my doctor. Did you?
I didn't know some Medicare Advantage plans may pay to have my prescriptions delivered directly to my home. Did you?
These and more are important benefits some Medicare Advantage plans may give you. So if you're eligible for Medicare, call us right now because you may be eligible to enroll in a plan with amazing additional benefits. Some Medicare Advantage plans may pay for services like these: dental visits, vision coverage, hearing coverage, home delivery of drugs, even gym memberships. Some plans may include no copays for many services and 0 deductibles. Don't wait to find out if you're eligible to enroll in a plan that may include some of these wonderful benefits you deserve. Call us right now. The call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation. Make this free call now to learn if you're eligible to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that may include additional benefits you want. Call us right now.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Because I so much enjoy the time that he spends with me. We've got retired Major General Paul Valley joins me, as he does from time to time. I always appreciate the insight he has. I appreciate his service. This week was Veterans Week. General, I hope your family and friends took care of you well.
Well, we had a spaghetti dinner at the VFW. What do you think about that?
I think that's wonderful. It's about time. Most of the events I go to, they're tacos. And I go, wait a minute, what did we forget the spaghetti? What happened here? So good. I'm glad they took care of you. And hey, listen, when it comes to, again, what's going on right now, I was thinking about during the break what you said, and it's so true. I mean, Russia, China, you talk about being the laughing stock, which is what they said we were under Trump, which is so far from being true. But we are now the laughing stock as they're looking at us and say, wait a minute, you bring your people all across the planet to make sure that there's safe, secure elections in other places, but you can't make it happen at home. I mean, this is just amazing.
Exactly what they're thinking. Exactly what they're thinking. Yeah, I mean, they're looking at some third world country, Venezuela.
Yeah, we need the purple finger.
And we look at this move towards communism and socialism, and my God, are they educated? Have they seen what's happened in Russia and China and Cuba and Venezuela and the countries that have gone communist? My goodness gracious, people, get smart.
And the young people still want it. They still believe that socialism is definitely the way to go. So you got any ideas? My attitude, being in computers all the years I was in, get back to the paper ballots. Not that it's impossible, but there's ways to watch over those things to make them happen. When it comes to computers, it is so easy to turn those votes. There's a story in Minnesota, I think it was Minnesota, where they had one of the workers, one of the upper management workers, leave with a thumbnail drive for about 3.5, 5 minutes, whatever it was, come back in, and when they plugged that drive in, 98% of what was on there were for Biden. And I'm thinking to myself, that would have been so easy to do, or pre-do, if you would. And who let him leave the building? This is too easy to do, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely easy to manipulate when you have these mail-out votes and no signatures. But if you add up the votes, there are about 150 million people voted in America. I mean, there's got to be a way. Even if we have voting on November 3rd, we can do it November 2nd and November 3rd, and everybody go and vote, personally vote. I know a lot of our overseas people can't do that. They got to do it by a mail-in ballot that's valid. Right. But there's better ways to do this, that's for sure. But the computers probably can be used in some way, but in no way when they can be manipulated as they have in this election.
I don't know if you heard about the Syrian information today. There was somebody who came out in the administration or an underling and said that they never really reduced the troops in Syria, and they never told the president. I can't imagine them doing this under any other president. What's your thoughts?
That's not true. The president would know.
Okay.
The president would know, through the military. He would know. This was an ambassador to Syria who was an anti-Trumper, by the way. I don't know why he was even there. But I'm one of the few that's been inside Syria. I know that situation very well. And we kept some special forces in there. And I'm sure we have probably a couple teams in there now just observing. But certainly the ability to withdraw as many troops out of the Middle East is what Trump's wanted to do, and I back him on that. It's not our wars over there. The Iraq war was totally unnecessary. And when we look at 19 years now in Afghanistan, I mean, it's ridiculous. And you got a lot of these generals that think we need to continue these wars, but we don't. And so I back President Trump all the way on his mission to bring our troops out of the Middle East. It's really not our problem over there.
No, they need to learn how to take care of themselves. And the other thing I love about it too, though, is the fact that President Trump, he was pulling us out of these places. Unless I missed it, he hasn't started any new wars or skirmishes anywhere. He gets in and gets out on issues that he needs to do. And again, I have to believe some of this is the money men who make money off of war that are not very happy with him. True?
Well, sure. It's the defense contractors. I've been involved with some of them. I know. They want to build lots of weapons. They want to create threats. And that's what it's all about when we do it in the Pentagon. It's about what we call threat assessment. So you assess these threats, and then you build the force to counter those threats as far as number of airplanes, number of ships at sea, number of Marines, number of Army, and so on and so forth. And that's how they do it at the Pentagon. So if you build up a big enough threat over there, and China, of course, is our major threat right now, not Russia.
Right.
But we have adequate forces now, thanks to President Trump for building up our military again.
Yeah, right. And he was the war. I love it how he's getting us out of war, but he was the warmonger. I think this is just amazing. Let's hit Iran for a minute, who is getting all excited, jumping up and down now because if Biden gets in, the money will just start pouring back in there. Did they ever really stop their nuclear activities?
No.
Yeah,
they didn't. And they have a nuclear capability.
Wow. Unreal. It's just unreal to me. And the American people sleeping at the wheel. You guys, I can't tell you how often people have said to me, so when did that happen? It's like, are you serious? Have you've been in a coma or what? To your point about Russia, Russia's not, they're broke, are they not?
No, they're doing okay over there. They're, I was over there a few years ago, and they developed a financial system over there. They're doing well in energy, and but they're the Russians don't want war. They've suffered so much over the past century of their people being killed in these wars, from Hitler to, and then in Afghanistan they took a beating. They don't want war. They really want to be prosperous and develop whatever they can under the capitalist system.
But we've been told that Putin is a hardliner, and he wants total control of that area or those areas around Russia. Does that not really play out?
Well, he had his reasons for doing what he's done, but he's looking out for the Russian people, just as President Trump's looking out for the American people. But if you take China, the Chinese Communist Party, we've written over 18 articles now from Stand Up America Foundation on China, and out of billions of people over there, I don't know, what is it, 1.4 billion now?
Yep.
I can't remember all the numbers. Only 1.5 million people over there really run the country. The rest are subservient to the Chinese Communist Party. 1.5 million people are the wealthiest, and they run the country over there, and they're all members of the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, no, and they don't care about their people. They're really, the regime there, the guy at the top doesn't care at all about their people. We already know this to be true. Just
That's
amazing.
right. Look what they've done in Hong Kong, and their next target is going to be Taiwan.
Yeah, actually, that's funny you should say that, because that was my next question too. Is look at Hong Kong. They've driven out any kind of leaders that really believe in Hong Kong, believe in independence, and that was not the agreement. That was not the rule. But what can we really do about it?
Nothing.
God bless.
Why?
Oh God!
It's like a football field. If you control the 20-yard line, you win. Because you don't want to get them. You want to get them across the goal line. And so what China does is continue to spread its money, its as far as its power, what we call the power projection, where they've taken over these atolls and these islands in the South China Sea. They move into a country, they invest in that country, they get that country beholden to them. It's like Pakistan is a very good example of what the Chinese have done. 2 new ports, airports, seaports, and a road that extends from western China through Pakistan to the Indian Ocean. That never existed before. But you never hear about that on the U.S. news. We have no clue what's going on overseas.
No, and I heard that I've got friends that over in England and a few other places in Europe, and they were telling me they were seeing things about Joe Biden that we weren't seeing here. And it's not that they weren't supporting him back there, but they actually were playing news about Joe Biden. Hey, we got to go for a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about your organization. I want to talk about how people can help it. Joe Messina, your host.
Are you paying too much for your health insurance? Are your deductibles too high? Or are you completely uninsured? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Healthcare Help Desk can help you now when people need help the most. Health insurance laws and rules have changed. If you have Obamacare, are uninsured, or your premiums are too high, call Healthcare Help Desk. It's free. New healthcare plans are available, and you may qualify for dental coverage and lower copays and deductibles. Make the free call now. Top quality coverage at the lowest prices anywhere. You may be paying too much and not even know it. In these troubled times, healthcare is more important than ever. Don't let another day go by without health insurance. Policies are being offered with very low copays and deductibles. So if you're uninsured, underinsured, or paying too much, call Healthcare Help Desk. Learn about your options before it's too late.
Call 800-964-1055. 800-964-1055.
Attention Medicare recipients and anyone turning 65. Medicare has approved new benefits not included with original Medicare and older Medicare Advantage plans. You may not be getting all of the benefits you're entitled to. These new Medicare Advantage plans may have many free new benefits including in-home aids, telephone appointments with your doctors, home-delivered meals and prescriptions. These benefits may be available and it's a free call to enroll. The easiest way to enroll is to call the Medicare Benefits Line, a free non-government service. The new plans may also offer free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free wellness visits, and gym memberships. Call the Medicare Benefits Line now. It's easy. Find out if you're eligible for new benefits like meal and prescription delivery, in-home aids, and telemedicine. Some plans may have a $0 monthly premium or zero copays for big out-of-pocket savings.
Call 800-691-1655. 800-691-1655.
Medicare Benefits Line is not connected with or endorsed by any government agency or the federal Medicare program.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions Now.
Call 800-447-7570. 800-447-7570.
On with us. I so much enjoy his time with me. Retired Major General Paul Valley joins me, and I always love the insight he has as to what's going on, well, in this country and overseas. But his organization, Soldiers Memorial Fund, God, I have social on the brain. Scrub that. Soldiers Memorial Fund. And General, why don't you tell people about the fund, tell them what you're doing and how they can support you.
Well, actually, we have terminated that after some 15 years.
Wow.
That was a foundation fund for our son who we lost in the Army in 2004. But now we've strictly focused on the Stand Up America U.S. Foundation, and that website is standupamericaus.org. So if people want to support us in what we do, we're constitutional patriots, and
yes,
we publish a lot. We provide President Trump with a number of studies. So we do a lot of things. By the way, who you ought to get on, I was thinking, it was Jason Whitlock.
Oh, yeah? Yep.
Get Jason on and have him talk about the bee in black, and it is absolutely phenomenal. It'll be eye-opening for a lot of your black listeners as well. Jason Whitlock, I think he's ESPN.
Yeah, no, I think I've heard him too as well over there on that other network that we're not mentioning any longer. You know what I'm saying? I am tired of these news rhinos and rhinos all over the place. People we thought were on our side would fight for us, and actually they haven't done it. They haven't done it to the level that we thought that they would, or they led us to believe they would. You know, was that?
Especially a lot at Fox News. I can't believe where Fox News has gone.
Yep. No, and it's heartbreaking because they were one of the places we could turn to for even the worst over there was 85% truth and on our side, and now it seems like you've got two shows over there, maybe three, but two. I think it's Carlson and Hannity that truly are still on our side, still fighting for the president, still just exposing the truth. Lou Dobbs, yes, he's on the business side. Love him. Love that guy, black and white.
To OAN and we're switching mostly to OAN and Newsmax now.
Yeah, that's what we should be doing. All right. So I asked you before. I'm just going to ask you again. Heart of hearts, where do you think Trump ends up on the other side of this?
I think we can pull it out in support of Trump, but it's going to be a tough one, no doubt about it. It's a tough battle in the courts now.
Can you imagine any other president trying to fight this like him? If we had any other guy trying to fight this,
fight it like him.
No, I agree with you because he won't give up. You know?
No, he won't give up. He's a fighter. He'll go to the end.
All right, Jen. Well, listen, I always appreciate that. I always appreciate your time with me, and you be good, and you be healthy, and we'll have you back on in a couple more weeks.
Okay, Joe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, General Paul Vallely, and love having him on with me. I really do. The guy has got a clue. He knows what's going on, and he's got his finger on the pulse. You know, I don't know. Is it just us? We tend to be able to only focus on one thing at a time, which is kind of crazy. And I think what we need to do is maybe we need to put our little sub-teams together. I don't know. But China's still active. You heard it. Iran's still active. And you've got this peace in the Middle East. Why is it that any president before Trump hasn't been able to pull this off? Now, Mary Hart over there on that channel, that other news channel, Mary Hart's been saying, oh, no, Obama was working on this for years. No, he wasn't. He was working on appeasing those people, sending money over there. And it had nothing to do with this. He was trying to buy their peace, trying to buy their quiet. That's what he was trying to do with little Kim. Right, with North Korea and what have you. This is what he's trying to do with all of them. And all they're going to do is sting you later on. They're going to take you to the cleaners. And I'm not so sure. Some of you are going to get mad at me, but I'm not so sure this means that Trump was the smartest guy in the room. He might, or you might be able to say he was the gutsiest guy in the room. Really, in all sincerity. He was the one willing to step out, willing to make it happen, willing to push back, willing to fight. All of his accomplishments, all of them will be, you know what? They'll be turned around because they hate him so much. You know that. You know that they're sitting there going through his executive orders one by one to see which ones they're going to wipe out. It's just not cool. Not right. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Truly do appreciate the time that you're spending with us on the air and in the chat room and texting and tweeting and truly being, part of the conversation. Part of the solution. And if you don't think, we talked about this a while back. If you don't think this is a fight for your life, they don't care about you. It's all about the power they're going to end up with. Zero Hedge has got a piece up right now that Dr. Fauci says, I'm sure some of you are going to be shocked. Just shocked to no end. But Dr. Fauci now says that the coronavirus, it won't be a pandemic that much longer. What's he thinking, like January 20th? 21st. No, 21st. The latest example of the conflicting messages we're getting from him. And boy, they seem to come in on a regular basis, don't they? Do you think if this was that serious, that bad, that deadly, that he would have gone to the baseball game that day, even with just a couple of people, without a mask on? If it was that contagious, that bad. So what he's saying is, we can go back to churches. He was talking on the program earlier today. We go back to churches and stuff like that, as long as we continue to maintain social distancing and masks You got to do both. So as the World Health Organization, the Gates Foundation, they're trying to raise like $18 billion for their own COVID program, which just scares me to no end. And then they want to help poorer nations get the vaccine. We've already talked about help, once we help ourselves, obviously, help poorer nations get the vaccine. And we're not just helping ourselves to help. We're only getting so much of this stuff. They can only make so much of it so fast, right? But when Fauci comes out and says, this is not going to be a pandemic much longer, am I the only one sitting here going, what do they know that we don't? Really? Again, 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. You know, you wonder, as I watch this sickness play out to a degree, you heard that Eli, what's his name? Musk. Eli said that he took, 4 tests in a day? 2 came back positive, 2 came back negative. I mean, that's good. He said there's something wrong here. He, very rich guy, said there's something wrong here. It's amazing to me that more on the left aren't pushing back. But they're afraid. They're afraid that if they push back and they show what's going on, they're going to put their guy away. They're going to bury their guy, who should be buried. No, seriously. We're at a point now where, Hillary Clinton, Hunter Biden, we can go on, right? I mean, what's the list? I'd even say Nancy Pelosi. You could make this list pretty long, pretty far, pretty wide. The whole Clinton gang. I think Chelsea's involved too, to a degree. They'd all end up in jail, wouldn't they? Come on, think it through. They would, because they've all got their hand in the tail somewhere. They're all benefiting from this illegally got money. Yeah, you heard me say illegally got money. Would it be great if they could show you everything that the Clinton Foundation took in, where it went, who it went to? I think you'd find some real problems there, don't you? Anyway, if you want to send me an email, you can send it to joe@therealside.com, joe@therealside.com. So when we get in touch with us, you can always get involved by phone during the show, 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-55. So just give me some numbers to write down. Use them if you need to. If you feel in that mood, you got an extra $5, $10, $15 in your pocket. It's real simple. All you got to text is Go Joe. One word, Go Joe. Short code is 77948. So text Go Joe to 77948. And you can help out. Like I said, $5, $10, whatever it is. Anyway, got a special guest coming in the next hour. We're going to talk about numbers. When it just gets.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Here's why. Dish has the nation's lowest TV price, along with an award-winning DVR that can skip commercials, record 8 shows at once, and get access to thousands of movies at your fingertips. Cable simply can't even compare. So the smart choice is to cut the cable and get Dish. Plus, you get all these great TV features, free HD DVR upgrade, free installation, and free movie channels. Say goodbye to cable and get more with Dish TV. 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. As an added bonus, you can switch to Dish now and receive a $50 Visa gift card. So call now and get Dish TV. Call 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. That's 877-290-7764. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, and other restrictions apply. Promotion can change at any time.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America, and get this. Did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The Secret War is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
Actually don't have a clue. Scott Hounsel joins me. He's a resident polling expert at redstate.com. Plenty of great articles over there if you want to head over there and check them out. Scott, thanks for joining me.
No problem, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Well, all right, so let's just get right into the meat of it because I'm loving this. We have president-elect, kind of sort of unofficially elected Joe Biden, and you're looking at these numbers in these states totally out of control. There's no way to really we see 100. We had this last time too. 150-year-old people voting, which I think we ought to move there. Truly, if the food's that good, the ground's that good, the air's that pure, we should be there, don't you think?
Right.
So, in all reality, let's just talk about basics now. You've got, like in California, I think they've identified what is it, a couple of hundred, which is not a big number, but it's only it's an understanding that it's a hell of a lot more out there if it's a couple of hundred voters that voted in California and voted in Nevada. Same names, same everything. How are you going to fix this?
So I think that, like as we've been talking previously, Joe, is about the audit of the vote. There needs to be a sharing. We talk about the sharing of data across state lines for financial resources, business resources, that sort of thing. Why aren't we talking about it with voting resources as well? Why aren't we trying to dedupe people off of rolls? People move out of state and they move into other state and they re-register. Why aren't those county folks or those state folks there notifying California or notifying Washington, hey, you just lost a voter, need to remove them from your rolls, they came over here.
Well, you're an optimist.
Well, I usually am. But again, going over those facts, auditing the vote, auditing the registrations, making voter ID laws a thing. I think that those are good places to start.
Yeah, but you've got groups out there, and I'm just going to put it out there. You've got Democrats who really don't want any of that, and even if the laws came through, they're not going to enforce those laws by any stretch of the imagination. You had the registrar here in Los Angeles County who was told 2 years ago almost, you have 1.5 million names to clean up, get off the rolls, or verify that they're real. They've virtually done none of those, have they not?
As far as I know, there's been no action on that taken at all.
Okay, why isn't that judge walking with his black robe, down there to the election desk and go, okay, you come with me. You're going to spend a few days in jail till we figure this out.
I think that the problem is that if you suddenly had a war between the judiciary and the executive in this particular case, that it's not going to end well for either side by any stretch of the imagination. I think judges primarily want to make the determinations and try to enforce them. But as we've seen in Los Angeles County or in Pennsylvania, as recently as this last week, where orders were issued from a federal court and then the Supreme Court, and Pennsylvania state officials said pound sand. And so again, unless we have an understanding, a national understanding, a national discussion about election security and ways to make it more secure, I don't think we're going to see any.
All right, so I'm going to get crazy on you for a minute. You think this was planned by the left? Do you think this whole Let's push coronavirus out to the point where we get people so petrified they won't leave their houses. We can do mail-in. I got 2 mail-in ballots here at this house. One for somebody who's been dead for 6 years, and one for somebody who moved out 11 years ago.
Again, it goes back to the fact that I think that I don't think that obviously Corona was planned or anything, but I think they used the situation to their advantage. Clearly, in these states where you've seen mail ballot returns at north of 100% of 2016 levels, going in, days before the election, you have to say, well, are they capitalizing on a national tragedy in order to win an election? And I think absolutely they did in a lot of ways.
Recently there was a poll that showed that Trump's approval rating was on the rise.
Right.
Actually, one of the places highest it's been. How did he get clobbered? You don't get clobbered like this with that kind of approval rating, those kind of employment numbers, those kind of economic numbers.
You look at every single county in Wisconsin. Like, for instance, every single county in Wisconsin, Trump did better than he did in 2016. Every single county in Michigan, Trump did better than he did in 2016. So Trump improved across the board. Improved across the board. In those two, for instance, in Wisconsin, Joe Biden didn't beat Obama's turnout in 57 of their 72 coununties.
And they're talking about 2.7 million votes across the country. Probably higher than that, but 2.7 million, look at it as they are extremely suspect that they believe that they can prove are not real. I don't know how. I don't know how far we can go down the road and simply giving, like the Supreme Court's we already know is going to play a big part in this. I don't think they want to, but I think they're going to play a big part in it because you already hear grumblings from Alito.
Right.
I was floored when he came out and said, hey, okay, no, this isn't working. Okay. And even Democrats, there's some Democrats behind the scenes have come out and said, look, yeah, of course I want to win, but I don't want to win like this. This is so obvious. It's sickening. And again, more and more the numbers as you see them come in. What was there? 450,000 votes here in California alone that were dead wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
You got 400,000 ballots. CBS reported a couple of weeks ago that 400,000 ballots an estimated 400,000 ballots had gone to voters that they didn't belong going to.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, when you're talking about 1% of the total population of a state getting ballots that they shouldn't, that can definitely flip certain elections in certain districts for sure.
Ones we know about.
Right.
All right. 353 counties across the country had voter registrations that were 100% over the inhabitants in that county.
Again, it goes back to the fact that we have to. This is part of the audit. It's how many people can register to vote. What's the voting age to total people of voting age in that county, and what's the registration in that county? And again, going back, and if we're over that number, then you got to start going back and parsing through the data and figuring out who should and shouldn't be on the voter register any longer.
All right, so they're recounting votes right now, and I'll get to the big numbers for you in a little bit, but they're recounting, hand-counting votes in Georgia. You've seen some of the videos, right? People are still 30 feet away. And not only that, the recount isn't going to help unless they do an audit of those
Correct.
votes.
Right.
Mom, thank God you're gonna be okay.
So relieved. But you both should know when my time comes, I have a final expense policy with Senior Care USA.
Is Senior Care USA the life insurance policy that helps loved ones pay for funeral expenses and other debts? Bill and I called to get more information.
Yes, and there's an immediate payout of up to $50,000.
If you're over 50, call Senior Care USA now to learn more about final expense insurance plans.
There's no medical exam, even if you have a pre-existing condition like I do. When I called, the quote was free, and there was no pressure.
I found out that policies start for as little as 35 cents a day. Rates will never increase and coverage won't decrease.
I'm gonna call today.
Ask about the free prescription discount card. Oh, I'm so glad you'll be taken care of.
Call 1-800-822-7419. That's 1-800-822-7419.
But is it? It's really just the beginning, right? Have you written a book and want it published but don't know where to start? You're not alone. Page Publishing cuts through the confusion that most new authors face, like copyright protection, barcodes, printing, and digital uploading. We will get your book into bookstores now. We guide you through the publishing maze and help you distribute and sell your work in hard copy and ebook formats. That's right. We will digitize and place your book for sale on Amazon, Apple iBooks, and Google, offering it to millions. Don't waste another minute. Most publishers won't even look at new author submissions, but we're different. We review your book and provide you feedback in about a week. If we decide to publish your book, your work ends and ours begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art, our team gets you into bookstores fast.
Call 1-877-461-5033.
Does your current bathroom need to be updated immediately? Introducing One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling, the complete and hassle-free way to get the new bathroom of your dreams in as little as 1 day and for as little as $199 a month. Yes, the experts at One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling will come to you anywhere in the country and show you all the customized options. Now you can have a brand new bathroom in as little as 1 day. Large or small bathrooms, if you want a new bathtub or shower installed, we can do it in as little as 1 day. And if you call right now, you can save $750 off your remodel. We make it easy by offering you financing as low as $199 per month. So for as little as $199 a month, you can finally have the bathroom of your dreams. Call now to schedule your free in-home consultation.
Before I get back to my guests, let's bring on Ken from Massachusetts. Ken, thanks for joining me. Thanks for listening.
Hey, God bless. Keeping up the fight, man.
Thank you. Thank you. And you too. You too. Massachusetts, you got a fight going on there too.
Hey, but you know what? In this mill, blue-collar town that I'm in, do you know Trump won by like 200 votes?
Really?
At my precinct alone.
You're in the Fall River area, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is a big...
He won by 200 votes over here.
People don't realize what a big deal that is, seriously. Oh, but...
a lot of blue-collar guys want these manufacturing jobs back around here. It's the whole decimation of the manufacturing base,
Tell them to kiss them goodbye, Ken. They ain't going to hang around long if Biden gets in.
I'm worried about this. Like Biden, what are we trading for? Some porn star with underage girls and Hunter. Come on. I mean, what's going on, man? Nobody knows that this guy's ready for the nursing home. I feel bad for the guy. I'm not dogging the guy, but I feel bad for him.
I do too.
It's going to be Kamala Harris our president. Biden's ready for the nursing home.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Come on, let's be honest with each other. It's not going to be President Biden. It's going to be President Harris in a relatively short period of time, and God only knows what's going to happen then. Seriously. Because
what are they tossing around Pelosi? I'm hearing
for what?
I don't know, President. If this thing's not nullified in time or whatever.
Work that way. We got to dispel that. It does not work that way. If it doesn't work out the way it's supposed to, it'll go to Congress. It goes to the House. And frankly and honestly, if it goes that way, we're better off because we got 26 states, and every state gets one vote. So if neither one of them pull it off, then it goes to the House, and we're good. I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
What happened with Georgia and Arizona? I thought Trump had them states. I thought he had the Latino vote.
Dude,
because they left their Marxist countries.
You live in Massachusetts. I grew up in Boston. You know how this works, right? I mean, I joke about it, but it's like, hey, Frankie, we're 30,000 behind. Go grab the blue boxes out of the van. It's really how it boils down to. And until we decide, and I'm loving what I'm seeing because we got a lot of patriots coming forward, a lot of patriots signing these affidavits, Democrats saying, look, I saw what happened. I don't like it. This is not the way I want to win. So I'm hoping that the tide is turning. And to your point about Trump being able to win that area, I'm hoping the tide is turning. Now we have patriots stepping up and saying, look, I don't like this. And here's what happened.
The guy's getting threatened. I don't mean to interrupt you, Joe, but our Republican chairman in our area is being threatened. They're calling his house. They're harassing him, Joe. And even the Democrat, there's Democrats that are even saying, guys, let it go, man. Leave the guy alone. He held his Trump signs. Leave him alone. But they're still going at it. Yep. These Antifa, God knows what they are. We know what they are, Joe. We and you know what's going on. I know what's going on. But they're not letting up. Oh, as soon as they get in the riots. No, it's going to get worse, man.
You're right. You're right. Well, listen, stay safe. I'm going to let you go.
Thank you, brother. God bless.
I appreciate listening. Thanks. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Let me get back to my guest. Scott Hounsel joins me. He's a resident polling expert at redstate.com. A lot of good stuff up there on redstate.com. You got to check it out. Head up there. A lot of good writers, a lot of good conservative writers. And so, Scott? Thanks for being with me.
Thanks again, Joe. I appreciate being here.
Okay, so let's just hit some of this fun stuff going on out there. You know, for a guy who couldn't get, as I love to say, couldn't get 16 people to show up at a drive-through burger joint, 138,000 votes are dropped. 92% of them are checked off for Joe Biden. Maybe people forewent the burger joint and decided just to stay home and vote for him. That's not impossible, right?
Again, you have to realize that there were a lot of Dems that didn't like Trump.
Right.
And so you can count an enthusiasm level of a negative enthusiasm that they just wanted to get rid of him. Was it at the numbers that we saw in some of these counties in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania? I'm never going to believe that in a million years. You're never going to tell me that the anti-Trump tide was more than the pro-Obama tide. I just won't believe that in a million years. And so I have to say that some of these numbers coming out of different states are a little alarming to me. Am I going to call them fraud right here and now? No, I'm not going to, because I have no proof of that.
Can we at least call them suspect?
Correct, and that's what I'm saying. It bears a chance for us to go in and look at these numbers, find out exactly what happened, why they're so high. If they're legitimate, they're legitimate. But at this particular crossroads, you're not going to see these massive swings from one county to the next without some sort of explanation.
You know, you were telling me during the break about Pennsylvania, and we've had the advantage there for many years, and Joe took an area by 78%, which again sets you back on your heels. And you say, look, it's akin to what happened here in California in the last election. They flipped Orange County overnight. Impossibility. Nobody would, even the worst estimates were that couldn't have happened, and it did.
Right. So in leading up to the election, I was following all the mail ballot returns. And in Pennsylvania, because you register according to party, some states you don't, but in Pennsylvania, you register according to party, you could tell the ideological background of the people returning the ballots. Up until the point that I was following it, there were about 1.7 million ballots returned. And of those, 64% of them were Democrat. It was a huge advantage for Dems, almost a 40-point Dem advantage wall leading in. However, 1.2 million of them went 78% to Joe Biden. So because that's NBC News. Go to NBC News voter election night's election results on their website. Look at this. This is data that's right there. You're going to tell me that nearly 80% of 1.2 million people agreed that Joe Biden was the better president from Pennsylvania, where Joe has talked about banning fracking and eliminating a lot of the steel industry jobs that came back as a result of Trump's work there. You're never going to make me believe that in a million years.
No. And we notoriously do better at the polls the day of. I know that in me reaching out for a couple of our local people, I had many, for lack of a better way of putting it, old-time Republicans saying, nope, we're going to go the day of. And I'm thinking, all right, I hear what you're saying, but if anything goes wrong, you're done. And you may have to end up waiting in line for 3 hours. And so be it. Then I'll wait in line. I'm not giving up my vote, but I'm not gonna entertain what these people are doing. And again, you know, a couple of local candidates, you saw that they were behind the day of, and then unlike some of these others, that at night or the next morning, I did not know that LA County did not count any of the day votes that day. We did not see them as of midnight on the same day. So it was refreshing to see some of the votes come in the next day. But now we're having some challenges here, even in LA County, aren't we?
Yeah, I think that, like I said, that you're going to see a large number of people who received ballots who, weren't for them. People that had moved, people that had died, etc. Mm-hmm. One of my friends received 6 ballots at his home for people that weren't him. An activist you and I both know here in California received 3 ballots for himself. One at his home, another one at his home under a same name but like a different spelling, and then another one at his business address.
Wow. I don't know how you clean this up. I mean, mine is pretty simple, and you probably won't agree. Plenty of people don't agree with me, which is, because they think I'm calling for a socialist world. But I don't have a problem with the voter ID card. All right, and I resent the fact that I had to get a voter. I had to get my California driver's license, but I had to get a real license. Are we serious? I thought that was the first license I got, was a real license. I could drive and everything.
Real ID, right? That they've come up with, yeah.
Now they got a whole different thing. Well, it's a way to get another $19 out of you, but other than that. But the same thing here. What would be so hard? Even going to the DMV, somebody said, well, the more disenfranchised people, the people that are socioeconomically, well,
make it free.
Not only make it free, they have to have an ID to get government aid.
Right.
So don't tell me that they don't know. And what a racist thing to say those people don't know how to get an ID.
Right.
Wow.
Well, again, I say make it free. I'm not about government programs, but if it gets us voter ID, the people that can't afford it, give it to them for free.
I'm with you. Give them all. I'm with you. I'd be willing to pay the $5 it costs or $10 it costs to put one of those out if we get some fair.
Think of all the Republicans that would be willing to go out and pay for someone else to get a voter ID if it meant voter ID.
Listen, I'll pay for the cab fare. Okay? I mean, I want it right.
Right.
And I think you
and
and I
secure.
both agree.
And secure.
Even in my race with me, I've always said the same thing. Look, I'll win if I do a good job. If I get the message out and do a good job, I will win this race. If I lose, I want to lose because I didn't get the message out there.
Attention homeowners, do you have a house that's in need of serious repairs? Do you have tenants that never seem to make their monthly payments? How about code violations, past due taxes, or maintenance costs you just can't afford? Then call my friends right now at Quick Cash Offer. They specialize in buying any home, no matter how ugly the situation. Turn that problem property into cash right now. It's just that simple. One call and you can get rid of that home headache forever. They buy the ugliest houses with instant closings, instant cash, and huge savings. Plus, there are no realtor fees, no listing fees, and no repair costs. Just cash in your hands for that painful property. They're buying a few more houses in your neighborhood this month. So take advantage of this cash offer and call Quick Cash Offer now.
855-296-8854. 855-296-8854. That's 855-296-8854.
Listen carefully. If your student loan debt is overwhelming you and things seem hopeless, we've got great news.
If you're still struggling with your student loan debt, there are government programs available that may actually lower your payments by consolidating your federal student loans. Just call us. We'll review your situation and work with you to consolidate your debt. In many cases, depending on your situation, we can lower your monthly payments in half or more. It doesn't matter how much you owe or how far behind you are. Even if you're in default, call us right now to find out how we can lower your payment in half immediately. You can stop the harassing phone calls and the wage garnishments. All you need to do is pick up the phone and call us right now. We can remove your default status, consolidate your federal student loans, lower your payments, and we can do it today. Stop worrying. This is a real solution that can help. So please call us right now.
Call 800-917-8671.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you and all seniors from the Final Expense Insurance Hotline. The average funeral costs about $7,000, even more. And the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255. That leaves your loved ones with a burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay up to $30,000 for your funeral and other final expenses. There's no medical exam and you'll have lifetime coverage. Plus, your rates will never increase and your plan cannot be canceled regardless of your medical condition, as long as you make your premium payments. Get free information right now. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 855-221-7334.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next?
How do you get in front of companies or get a patent?
Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors just like you for 35 years.
And thousands of people contact them every month.
With 65 offices, you can meet with an InventHelp representative near you who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. And they offer 3D animations and prototyping services to help demonstrate your idea. InventHelp's exclusive databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to confidentially review new ideas, like yours.
Don't wonder what to do next. Take action right now and get the help you need from InventHelp.
InventHelp. Call today for free information.
800-880-2937. That's 800-880-2937 now.
These social platforms, social garbage platforms, better, they have kept us from really making any revenue whatsoever. So it's really tough to do. I don't like to sound like I'm begging. I'm not begging because we're not going under, tonight at midnight if I don't get any money. But give up a cup of coffee at one of those expensive places. You know what I'm saying? And simply just text GOJO, one word, GOJO, to 77948, 77948. And you know what? Real simple, $5, $10, whatever. Let me know. It's not the amount either. I got to tell you guys, psychologically, the more of you to give a few bucks here and there and what have you, it lets me know that you're listening, you care, you're paying attention, and maybe you don't have any money. Just tell your friends about it. Tell your friends about the show. I mean, and some of you have called and made some phone calls. God bless. We're trying to get a hold of 2 stations in Alaska. We're trying to join the network up there. God bless. I know Alaska's beautiful. I have a cousin that lives up there. But maybe this is the only thing you got to do, listen to a guy like me for a couple hours. But I do appreciate the calls. I do appreciate the information, for real. Let me bring my guest back on. Scott Hounsel joins me. He's a resident polling expert at redstate.com. And Scott, thanks for being with me. I appreciate your time.
Anytime for you, Joe.
All right, so let's get back to some of what we see coming up this week. I'm not overly enthusiastic about Georgia. Make me happy. Tell me what's going to happen there.
So Georgia's only 14,000 votes at this point. So I'm looking at the 3 states that I think will be the easiest to go after. If I'm gonna be say 3, maybe 4, I'll say Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. The reason being is that all those states have a narrow margin. People are talking about Michigan. I looked at the data coming out of Michigan, and yes, while I see a large number of votes, it's not enough to overcome the loss. Joe leads there by 149,000 votes or something like that at this point. Right now, every vote that I've identified is fraudulent. That's 120,000 votes. So it's not enough to overcome the win. So I think Michigan's kind of out at this point, unless there's some sort of institutionalized fraud, an issue with the voting system, something along those lines. I really don't see that state flipping. But look at Pennsylvania. The AG there and the Secretary of State, or I shouldn't say Secretary of State, Secretary of the Commonwealth, because Pennsylvania is a Commonwealth.
That's right. Like Massachusetts.
Yeah, right. Secretary of the Commonwealth.
Although isn't it interesting though? There's not much Commonwealth in Massachusetts, is there?
No. But the Secretary of Commonwealth and the AG in Pennsylvania have ignored Supreme Court rulings stating that they have to separate those ballots. If suddenly there's a mass invalidation of 200 or 300, even as many as 400,000 or 500,000 ballots as a result of not separating them, that could definitely put Pennsylvania back into Trump's camp. Georgia, I think that there needs to be more pressure for an audit. I think that the voting systems are supposed to, in Georgia, I think the law is the voting system is supposed to print a hard copy ballot. The problem is with the Dominion voting system, and this can be looked up anywhere, is that the same slot that prints out the ballot and scans it back in is the same thing. So you can put a ballot back in, and it has to go past the printer again to be scanned. Well, does that mean that something else can be printed on it, that a vote can be changed, that a vote can be invalidated? I really don't know, but if the potential exists for that to occur, then obviously there's an issue. It should be separated somehow. So I think that if a recount and audit in Georgia, and I think that there's enough for some legal challenges in Arizona, they could definitely flip the state.
All right, so you've been doing polls for a long time, and you know how misinformation works. We both know how misinformation works, and the initial polls that were put out by all these experts, you look at those and you say to yourself, you think that kept a lot of our people home, or do you think it riled them up to say, bullpuckies on that, I'm going to go out and prove them different? What's your thoughts on that?
I think that those people were going to turn out no matter what. I really don't think that anyone was like, I wasn't going to vote for Trump, but since these polls were wrong, I'm going to go out and vote now. So I think it may have energized them to vote more enthusiastically. I don't think that Trump supporters necessarily. What I think it didn't do is encourage Biden supporters to go out. No, everyone would love to be the one that helped vote in the new president, that they want to be the guy. I voted for the guy. I voted for you. And I voted for the guy that won. So I think that may have energized a little bit more of the Biden vote galvanized it, if you will.
Yeah.
People that may have been sitting on the fence of maybe I will vote will go, well, if he's in the lead and he's going to win anyway. I think a lot of people didn't vote for Clinton because they thought the potential existed that she would lose, and they didn't want to have voted for the loser. So I think that a lot of Democrats stayed home in 2016. In fact, the data supports that. I mean, she didn't even come anywhere close to touching Obama's 2012 numbers.
See, I think one of the biggest reasons Hillary didn't make it was, first, they depended a lot on the young vote, on the youth vote, right? That's number one. Number two is she couldn't make a connection even to the old time.
Right.
And when you can check out the show, when I called Trump, wasn't that he was so eloquent and so wonderful, but when they were interviewing people in New York City, hard time, street working, union guys, construction workers that were going, no, man, it's Trump all the way. He'll turn it around. He'll get us back to work. I said, they lost the union people. And then within months of that, Nancy Pelosi changed her tune, and she started calling them, right? Those were her blue-collar workers. Then she started calling them uninformed voters.
Right.
I said, they know they've got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the Dems. They change the terminologies, they tweak it around to try to cover their butts for all intents and purposes. Because now she thinks she has a mandate.
Right. and again, that's what keeps making me laugh about it, is that Biden's margin of win is smaller than what Trump's margin of win in 2016 was.
Well, give me some of the numbers you were giving me during the break, where you talked about where he underperformed with the Oblamo, I lovingly refer to.
Yes. So if you we're just talking about like Wisconsin, Trump improved in every county in Wisconsin over his 2016 turnout. Yeah. He had underperformed Romney initially in a few counties, but by and large did better in the majority of counties in Wisconsin over 2012. However, Biden, on the other hand, failed to meet Obama's turnout in 57 out of 72 counties in Wisconsin. So this isn't some mandate. They didn't stomp us. 57 counties in Wisconsin decided that this guy wasn't as good as Obama. So at what point do we have to start, fighting back against this media narrative that this is a mandate that the Senate has to go along with with the agenda because
they lost seats in the House.
Right.
Who's the mandate?
Right. And they couldn't take the Senate.
No.
I mean, think of all the money they spent on Amy McGrath and Jamie Harrison in South Carolina. I mean, and they got stomped. Look at the money that was spent on Sarah Gideon in Maine, where Susan Collins beat her by 13 points. On election night, I haven't checked lately. There's probably some ballots have been counted since, but I mean, it was a thorough stomping.
Well, look at the guy who ran against Mitch McConnell, but with the most expensive, most money raised in a Senate race,
right?
In history.
Amy McGrath, yeah.
And now what are they doing? They're talking about making some of these people who lost parts of the DNC or up in the executive board of the DNC. And I'm going, well, how does that happen? Why do the Democrats do that all the time? They have people that get tromped on and they make them leaders.
Well, think about all the down tickets that got screwed because of all the bullet voting for Biden. That everyone went out and voted for Biden only and left these down ticket races abandoned. So if I'm one of these down ticket races, I'm not going to be happy with the DNC, the DCCC, or the senatorial committee for the Democrats. I'm not going to be a team player at that point because they weren't a team player for me.
No. My wife was not happy with me when I said, you know what, the woman, if she runs, is going to be a problem, is Tulsi Gabbard. And she's done some interviews. She's not done the whole circuit, but she's done some interviews, and she is disappointed with her party.
Right.
And I'm saying, look, here you have somebody we're all about patriots. She's a patriot.
Right.
She's a veteran.
Right.
She comes off as more of a moderate Democrat.
She's a socialist, but
no question.
Yeah, but she, if you had a choice right now, Joe, between Tulsi Gabbard as the next president or Joe Biden as the next president, Tulsi hands down, and I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And so there was a point where early in the debate about moving forward with the country, I had said there's a few people that if the Democrats nominate these people, it's going to be a tougher battle, and Tulsi was the top of the list, and they decided to go with the septuagenarian who, can't put together a sentence without it being on a teleprompter.
Real quick, we got about a minute, but I'm looking at this as saying, you and I have been at this long enough. There's an ulterior motive here by bringing in Harris. Here's a woman who came in dead last. Nobody liked it. Couldn't connect like Hillary couldn't connect, right? Why would you choose her? And I don't want to hear about she was his son's friend.
Oh, it's to check the boxes. Woman box checked. Person of color checked.
Yeah.
That's it. And I think that they figured that she would be the hardest fighter. And to be frank, having worked on 2 races against Kamala Harris, she is a fighter.
Yeah, nothing there though.
Right.
All right.
That's it. Empty
Okay,
suit.
so they can find you at redstate.com, redstate.com. A lot of your writings there, and check out his what.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Broken AC, $4,600. Water heater, $1,500. Fridge on the fritz, $1,000. You need home warranty coverage from the Home Service Club for around $1 a day. If any of your covered appliances and systems break down, HSC will either repair or replace them.
HSC provides coverage of up to 47 different appliances and systems in your home.
I trust HSC.
HSC has over 15,000 pre-screened, highly rated technicians with the fastest response time in the industry. They cover everything from ACs, stoves, fridges, pool pumps, and more. Call the number on your screen now for a free no-obligation quote from a trusted HSC specialist about a home warranty for your entire home, backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call now and get 1 month free plus $75 off your first year of coverage. 1 month free and $75 off your first year. The Home Service Club.
I didn't know some Medicare Advantage plans may pay for dental visits. Did you?
I didn't know some Medicare Advantage plans may pay for transportation to my doctor. Did you?
I didn't know some Medicare Advantage plans may pay to have my prescriptions delivered directly to my home. Did you?
These and more are important benefits some Medicare Advantage plans may give you. So if you're eligible for Medicare, call us right now because you may be eligible to enroll in a plan with amazing additional benefits. Some Medicare Advantage plans may pay for services like these: dental visits, vision coverage, hearing coverage, home delivery of drugs, even gym memberships. Some plans may include no copays for many services and 0 deductibles. Don't wait to find out if you're eligible to enroll in a plan that may include some of these wonderful benefits you deserve. Call us right now. The call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation. Make this free call now to learn if you're eligible to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that may include additional benefits you want. Call us right now.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.